From the space at Westbury, New York, and streaming live around the world on Pluto TV, Tiger Life Energy presents Triton Fights 6. This event is being sponsored by Tiger Life. Energy never tasted so good. By No Better Foods. Visit nofoods.com and use promo code Triton25 to save 25% on your next order. By Footlux of Long Island, sports medicine that helps improve athletic performance. And by Can Sports Bar of Westbury, Triton Fights official after party. First up, we have a 22-year-old who stands at 5'8" and weighs 153 pounds. He represents Henzo Gracie Philly and EEFC. Out of the blue corner, Issa Dalipaj. His opponent is a 23-year-old who stands 5'11" and weighs 155 pounds. Representing LIMMA, out of the red corner, Chris Big Nog Guariglia.
Now that the introductions are out of the way, it's about time for the violence to commence. Chris Guariglia, representing Long Island, versus, of course, Issa Dalipaj, who has a huge crowd here, big crowd advantage, fighting out of Henzo Gracie's Philadelphia Academy. Guariglia 1-0, Issa making his debut, yet still has this big crowd presence here. Does that surprise either one of you?
You never know what kind of, maybe background he's got. People have seen him fight maybe before. He's just got some great friends.
Yeah, and Issa Dalipaj ends up almost on top, landing some body shots here on Guariglia. The Long Island MMA fighter, Dalipaj landing more body shots. Again, from a bit of a dominant position up top, it looks like he might be able to try to lock up that leg.
Beautiful X-guard sweep by Guariglia.
Ooh, Guariglia, who then had a shot land. Again, these aren't landing to his head, they're landing to his chest, just below the head.
That's a lot of energy. That's expending a lot of energy really early on in your first 30 seconds of the fight.
Do you think that that could be an issue with somebody making his debut, has all his friends here watching him? Could he burn himself out early on?
He's already found himself in a omoplata and he's just muscling his way out.
Goes for the slam though, Issa Dalipaj, and it ends up getting Chris Guariglia into a little bit less.
Oh, this is. He slammed. Oh, he got out. He was able to get out.
He slammed himself into a worse position in that submission, actually.
At least giving himself, though, the chance to maybe leverage out of it, and he did. Lands a knee to the body there. Issa Dalipaj, as you hear the crowd start chanting his name again, seems like half the place is here for Issa Dalipaj.
That could be an advantage or it could work against you, like you'd said. Sometimes you got all those people here watching you. You want to show out. And it's a lot of energy he's expending right now.
Dalipaj ends up on the ground. Guariglia trying to work his way up the body. Of course, we've got Guariglia listed as 3 inches taller than Dalipaj. They look to be pretty close to the same size, though.
You can see Dalipaj's corner yelling, "Get up, get up." Good instruction in his corner.
We haven't seen too much from either one of them on the feet. It stayed on the ground throughout nearly the whole fight. Now Guariglia in Dalipaj's guard. Dalipaj looking like he's trying to work up for that triangle, but nope. Chris Guariglia smartly and swiftly moves out of guard to keep that from happening.
He's an excellent grappler. Coached by Brian Michelino out of Long Island MMA, a hidden gem there.
Guariglia was doing a lot of mean mugging before the fight. Boy, he's doing some mean stuff here, showing some mean grappling ability against Issa Dalipaj here at Triton Fight 6. Brought to you by Tiger Life Energy Drinks, and Guariglia ends up in full mount.
We should also mention we have Guariglia has Bellator veteran Hugh McKenna in his corner as well, right next to Ryan LaFleur and Brian Michelino.
That's a pretty good corner to have if you're going to have a fight.
I would say so.
Issa Dalipaj ending up against the cage here for the last 10 seconds and looks to escape, and it looks like he might. Guariglia got the neck, but no time to do anything with it. A little bit of blood on Dalipaj's back, and it looks like it may be coming out of above his right eye. Nah, maybe not. It's hard to tell where that's coming out of, because when they wiped it down,
You couldn't really see much.
no, it went away.
Maybe it's coming from Guariglia from somewhere. I don't know.
It could be. When it's on the back of the head, oftentimes that's how it ended up there. But Guariglia, he's got that intense look. Replay from that first round. Close round. Each fighter had their moments. Again, Dalipaj seemed like he might have overextended himself at the beginning there, Dave, with a lot of those shots that he was throwing from this dominant position, but how much strength was behind those shots?
Well, we'll find out what kind of toll it took on him at the start of this coming round here.
Dalipaj getting some ice and some advice from his corner out of Team Enzo Gracie in Philadelphia. Made the trip up to Long Island. We're here at Triton Fights 6 at the sold-out space at Westbury. Round 2 about to get underway. Chris Guariglia versus Isa Dalipaj. And here we go. Round 1, a close one. Dalipaj lands right there, lands left. Guariglia doesn't seem like he wants this to stay on the feet. He's been the one kind of instigating those takedowns for the most part, Dave.
Yeah, he's a very competent grappler. He's working towards his strength. It says it's a smart game plan.
How important, Eric, is it to stick to a game plan? Also, in the same token, how important is it to be able to adjust your game plan during the fight?
I mean, it depends. Early on with these guys as novices, they just sort of have to do what their strengths are. And Guariglia is a very skilled grappler, very good on the ground. He's also super strong. I've trained with him before. He's deceptively strong for a 155-pounder.
I can agree to that.
Not one of those muscle-bound guys, but an intense guy. And here he is in Dalipaj's guard and working to advance. Ooh, and he almost had that left leg trapped. It's now in side control. This is a position we haven't seen too much of tonight, but a good place to be in these amateur fights.
Chris is doing a good job advancing his position on the ground. You know, he's looking to get dominant positions to get finishes.
Moving for the back, he's got the hooks in, and Dalipaj rolls him down, but he's got one arm under the chin.
This is a tough position for Dalipaj here. He's flattened out with Guariglia on his back.
He's so flat, in fact, that it doesn't look like Guariglia is able to quite get the leverage he needs underneath that neck to get the pressure he needs. Yep, and there's the head out. That blood is definitely coming from Guariglia, not sure from where, but it's all over the back of Isa Dalipaj. He's got the crowd behind him, and he's got that position behind him as he escapes, but ends up with Guariglia still in a good spot. Now pushing, seeing if he can end up
going for a guillotine,
getting into dominant position. Stands up. It's going to be hard to get that guillotine for Guariglia there.
Real smart from Chris there. He used the guillotine to get back to his feet. That's smart fight IQ right there.
Chris Guariglia right in front of us up against the cage. He's got Isa Dalipaj's back to the cage. Here you see the lovely Eric Ott on your TV screens behind you in that blue shirt. Beautiful man, a beautiful fighter. And these are beautiful fights at Triton Fight 6. And right in front of us, Dalipaj looking like he's trying to get his arm under to get that neck. I can't see if it's quite there yet. Even if it is, his left hand is still, you can't see it on the TV, now you can. It's behind Chris Guariglia.
It's tough to finish a guillotine from half guard. When you have somebody inside your half guard, it's going to be real tough to finish a guillotine.
Even harder to finish it with one arm. Referee giving some guidance to let go of the shorts here in this lightweight prelim of Triton Fights 6. Chris Guariglia now in Isa Dalipaj's guard. Trying to advance. Dalipaj got that leg locked, but not enough. Chris Guariglia able to advance into half guard and now trying to get into side control. He's been there once before, didn't spend much time. Dalipaj turns his back again, and there's the end of round 2. That's a good round for Guariglia, I believe, Eric.
Yeah, I would put Guariglia up two rounds to none at this point. He was pretty dominant in that first round, control-wise, and then just followed up in the second. Neither fighter really comfortable exchanging on the feet at all. Both content to wrestle and use jiu-jitsu.
Dalipaj seeming to get the better of the very brief time that we've seen them on the feet. That's where the ability to decide where the fight is going to take place comes into play, and Guariglia has been able to get him down to the ground every time he wanted to so far, Dave.
Yeah, he's been real dominant with his grappling, you know, showing high-level, intelligent grappling. You see on the replay here, he used that guillotine to stand when he realized he had his back against the fence in a less than favorable position.
These are two guys, one fight between them. Dalipaj making his debut, a huge crowd presence here supporting him from Philadelphia. Of course, he's a Enzo Gracie Philly fighter. Both of them, though, pretty good showing, even though I would say Guariglia likely up 2 rounds to none at this point. Round number 3, starts now. Can Dalipaj keep it on the feet? Because his striking has looked better, but he's not had, something just came off, maybe a little bit
I don't know
of
what
tape.
that is.
A tape or a tooth, I don't know, but it's on the mat, and now they are too.
It looks a little red and a little bloody.
Chris Guariglia in half guard, now into full guard. Trying to get those feet on the hips to press off here and try to control the upper body of Guariglia, because Guariglia has been shown a lot of control from the top here, Eric, and that's all he needs to do in this third round, probably, to win his second fight and go to 2-0.
Yeah, the novice rule set really favors the grappler, especially within a cage, and a small cage at that, because the small cage allows you to close the distance a lot more easily, allows less room for an opponent to get away. You can push a guy up against the fence, get a takedown real easily, and if you're able to maintain that top position, you're going to win the round.
Here's a question for you about the novice rules to clarify. The man in the bottom position, is he allowed to throw strikes to the head or no?
No, he is not. Essentially, it is a jiu-jitsu match while they are on the ground.
Guariglia again moving towards the back of Isa Dalipaj, and he's got one hook, no, both hooks in. He's got him flattened out, but not a great spot up against the cage there, Dave. Gives him less room to work in.
You know, when you had somebody's back here, the space between you and the cage, especially if this was pro, that looks deep. That choke looks deep.
Oh, it is. It is. But nope, now he's got his chin underneath it. It was for a moment. However, when it was, Guariglia didn't have his hands together, didn't have that clasp to be able to pull on it.
Guariglia just waved to the Isa's corner.
That takes a little bit of gumption. Is that the right word? I don't know. I do know that Chris Guariglia now with a full back mount of Isa Dalipaj, and he's been in control for much of the last 2/3 of this fight. Likely up 2-0 Definitely won that second round, I would say. And with less than a minute left now in round 3, Isa Dalipaj, things not looking great for him at this time. He's in a bad spot where it's going to be difficult to get out. He may be able to fend off a submission, Dave, but actually getting out from being flattened out like that, it's going to take a lot of energy that he may not have.
This is tough right here. If this was the pro rule set,
And
it
the
stopped
referee
anyway.
Referee calls a stop to the fight, and you have your victor. Chris Guariglia moves to 1-0. Isa Dalipaj looking a little bit dejected. He put up a heck of a fight. Chris Guariglia,
He's fired up.
To your point earlier, he's been fired up from the moment he got here. He's got one of those expressive faces where it's hard to tell if he's happy or angry or what's going on. Chris Guariglia, I don't know whether he's happy or angry. I do know he remains undefeated. 2-0, finishing the fight here, had the back, landing body shots, solid ones on Isa Dalipaj, flattened him out, landed more, and I don't know if there was a verbal tap or if the referee just decided that he'd seen enough, but they called an end to the fight.
He was stuck in that position for a while, getting his face grinded out with the choke, eating some body shots. It could have just been a good referee's stoppage.
Well, Guariglia was likely in control of the fight at that point, made sure that he was in control at the end as he gets the victory. Now, it's about time for us to give you the official results for this fight, and with those is our ring announcer, Steve Peacock.
And the winner by TKO at 2 minutes and 25 seconds into the third round came out of the red corner, Chris Guariglia.